One thing I learned at Apple is to put customers at the center of everything. Like that is the core of how we talked, how we worked, how we made decisions, is to care for customers and care for employees. And I got to see that kind of commitment embodied in different functions in the business, including among senior leadership at scale. And I launched very large scale, programs or product services, operations, large like retail stores in new countries. And so I had to work with every single function in the organization.
When you look at the success that she was having at Apple as an executive, somebody who was responsible for some really important decisions about the future of Apple stores, and somebody who led the faith-driven employee resource group at Apple, when you see somebody like that who could say, I've checked all the boxes. I'm going to church, I'm leading a Bible study at my company, and I'm all set and I can continue to make the money. Instead saying, you know what, I've gotten a taste of how God is using me in the business marketplace. And if God can have an impact for me here, where might He also have use for me?
And I've just been training, I guess, for a long time to seek to obey God. And over time, just one thing led to another, where God was revealing to me, inviting me, I would say, to come and see what I'm doing in the Philippines, because that wasn't on my mind at all. It was not my aspiration to go back to the Philippines or necessarily do business in the Philippines because of the general headlines of the Philippines, right? The headlines of the Philippines are, it's a corrupt nation, it's not necessarily a place that you would seek to do a ton of business in, especially with Singapore right next door.
So despite the recent growth profile and demographics of the Philippines, they still have a huge underserved market with a huge opportunity for redemptive, faith-driven investing. So 60% of the people are living paycheck by paycheck. 25% of the people lack access to reliable electricity. 98% of the people do not have credit cards, and 70% of the population does not have a bank account. And that's extremely shocking. To address these, we are seeing a growing body of Christian entrepreneurs that are seeking to find solutions to help people in the Philippines, not only for business gains, but for long-term social as well as kingdom impact.
And God began to show me that my life and the way that it's been set up, being born in the Philippines, raised in the US, and the work and the training that I'd had, perhaps it's in preparation to be part of what He's doing in the Philippines, because I have a unique positioning there and I have a unique understanding there. And so that started the journey of what is now Dream Bigger Ventures, and then eventually connecting with Archangel Impact Capital. We're a capacity builder and an angel network for very early stage, faith-driven Filipino founders that are building technology startups.
And I think what the country needs is an opportunity to see how you marry your faith with whatever you're doing at work. And I think that's how people are going to change. That's how you're going to change the culture. That's how people are going to be impacted by the gospel. The focus is really, how do we have a hands-on approach to supporting them post-investment? We're not a passive investor. We're going to go in there and we're going to roll up our sleeves, really work with them in terms of integrating spiritual KPIs into the organization, really go in and helping them, wrestle through difficult situations. We're not a charity. We're not an NGO. We're a fund structure that basically invests in different companies within the Philippines with the purpose of maximizing social impact, spiritual impact, and financial impact across our portfolio companies.
So we're super excited that they've come in, they're enabling us to grow, and they are now supporting us on how do you not just grow, how do you not just be more profitable, but how can you actually be more godly and more redemptive.
So we're 4 partners, including myself. There's Banjo Castillo, who was formerly the CEO of Dole Philippines. We have David Bonifacio, who's the son of a pastor and is working for a Singapore-based venture capital firm that's focused on the Philippines. And Christeen Rico, who comes in with, I would say, the faith-driven investor, faith-driven entrepreneur experience, being based in Silicon Valley. She's been able to help us really roll out a number of these faith-driven initiatives into our portfolio companies.
The hope is to radically transform the Philippines in my lifetime. And so to do that, there are 3 major nationwide problems we need to solve. Number 1, broken marriage. Number 2, poverty. Number 3, corruption. And those are all intertwined, right? Because of corruption, there's a perpetuation of generational poverty. And because of poverty in the country, oftentimes spouses, like one spouse will go abroad for work and send money back to the country, and then another spouse stays behind. But 3 out of 4 times, those marriages break down. And that continues to perpetuate that cycle of brokenness for the next generation. And so again, broken family, poverty, corruption, they're all intertwined. And we need holistic, Christ-centered ecosystem solutions to reverse those things. And that's the hope of Dream Bigger Ventures and Archangel, that we will play our part, but also help to encourage and accelerate the redemptive ecosystem in the country.